This is why I hate machines.
A Thing About Machines is not exactly a milestone special for an all-around masterpiece horror saga, but it's a tale that I consider a pure dumb fun scary story. This is the type of plot like Piranha 3D or Jason X. It's not trying to aim for high art, but acts as just a ridiculously enjoyable ride. I had absolute fun with this one, and despite some flaws, this is the kind of horror story you would see if you just wanted some goofy, campy amusement. In this tale, we follow a snooty, uptight, douchey critic named Bartlett Finchley, who despises machines. Mr. Finchley is an over-the-top prick who whines and complains about everything, but whenever things go wrong in his life, he lashes out on his machines and appliances to blow off steam. He's a short-fused snob who can't ever calm down and thinks little of the world, especially his toys, until one day the machines fight back. Tired of all his constant abuse and jackassery, Finchley's machines strike against the human jerk, mocking him, trolling him, driving him to madness, warn him to get out of his home, and eventually raise war. And that's most of this episode. Really, it's a simple yet goofy comeuppance story about this dipwad getting his just desserts and fighting with his mechanical devices all episode. We do get brief suggestions over if Finchley is crazy or not, but the machines make it clear by the halfway point that yes, they're real and go Decepticon on his butt.
The Decepticons have won!
There isn't quite a profound moral or deep lesson here, but I heard a lot of fans interpret some scenes in unique ways, or are mostly here for the kick-ass effects. The visual tricks and hilariously weird effects used to bring the Decepticons to life are so cool and delightfully wicked. They truly do look good, even by this very day, even adding a lot of ludicrous comedy to the episode. A house haunted by living appliances totally fits in the realm of the zone, and adds much flair. Some fans theorize that the machines could be a result of Finchley's paranoia, as he mentions to his secretary that he's gained a drinking problem and hasn't slept for days, since he fears his machines want to get him, and this could all be a part of his warped mind. But
I don't think so.
the machines do start moving on their own and damage Bart, so the magic is real. The metal men want to teach Finchley a lesson on why kindness is a vital reactor. If there is a lesson here, I took the simple one that even good ol' R.L. Stine uses. Don't be a jerk. The machine uprising begins because Finchley abused them and took them for granted for far too long. None of the other humans like or even help the critic, because he's a prick towards them too, and most of Finchley's misery is brought on upon himself, thanks to his short-fused temper. Bartlett is a delightfully hammy, over-the-top dick, almost to the point where I'd say he's the male Stephanie Howard. His actor is having so much fun at being this love-to-hate douche, and he knows how ridiculous this all is, so Finchley feels appropriately like a cartoon villain as he hams it up to the max.
You're not going to intimidate me! Do you hear me? You are not going to intimidate me! You machine!
He hates tech more than Captain Fanzone.
This is why I hate machines!
To be honest, this tale has a total Tales from the Crypt vibe to it, as it's mainly indulging in the cool setting and wacky antics of a man combating Decepticons. Rumor has it that the reason why this character, among many of Rod's other rich pricks, is so obnoxious is because Serling actually had an appreciation for the lower class working man, and usually loved to have rich elitist jerks suffer in his horror stories. stories, while the working Joes were mostly nice guys or likable pals. Finchley is an arrogant, know-it-all elitist who doesn't even understand his normal devices, keeps them for fad, takes them for granted, and even breaks them like a child throwing a temper tantrum. However, his staff are normal, kind souls who look down on him. This is best shown how Finchley scoffs at others, such as his snarky secretary and his repairman, as beneath him, as they're clearly more likable and down to earth compared to the discount Mark Ruffalo wuss who complains all the time.
Last time I was over here, you'd kick your foot through the screen, remember?
The set was not working properly. I tried to get it to do so in a perfectly normal fashion.
My teeth can't get any bigger, but my monocle certainly can.
Definitely makes this guy's downfall all the sweeter. Good to know Mr. Serling at least respects his fan base and knows what we like. Other than those small deets showing how douchey the rich can be, the episode's very basic and just wants to have a good time with the craziness. And I genuinely think it works. Finchley fights the machines and the mechas toy with him through a bulk of the plot, but it's radical. His typewriter disses him, his TV sasses him, his phone pranks him, his freaking razor shaver attacks and stalks him, and the best of all, even his car chases after him Christine style.
Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone.
That's so insane, I love it. Rod Serling gave us a much better Transformers movie than Michael Bay. Finchley's mansion becomes this whacked out haunted house, and it's all about the appliances knocking him down a peg in the most weird way possible. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I laughed way harder at this episode than nearly most of the intentional comedy episodes. The campy fun and escalating robot war just make it so wacky. I'm not sure if that's a ringing endorsement for you, but I don't think you'll have a bad time watching this. However, it does all come to an end. No twist this time, but the machines do succeed. As the Jalopodus Prime chases Finchley, it traps him at the pool, where, no Kitten, the old man has a heart attack and dies drowning in his pool. If there's one thing to hate about this episode, it's that the finale is a tad anticlimactic. After all the mechas going haywire and boss car chase, having him just get scared to death is a letdown. Come on, Serling, you couldn't have had the car ram him right into the pool and crush him? That would have been epic, but I guess I understand if it was too big.
Money!
The episode closes out on the police fishing Finch out, explaining he had a heart fail, but pondering what could have caused all this, as the Decepticons go back to being robots in disguise.
Soundwave superior, Constructicons inferior.
All in all, this episode is fine. Nothing special or deep, but by the Allspark, is it super outrageous. The over-the-top acting, impressively odd effects, crazy-ass setting, and the top-notch stunt work truly make this episode memorable and a mindless fun adventure. I honestly recommend checking this one out, since it might be a rare good comedy episode for the retro Twilight Zone. This actually strikes me as a work the staff just wanted to have a blast on and play with the bizarreness of the zone, over giving some educational cautionary tale or heavy drama for once. You probably won't get something life-changing out of this fable, but for a simple mindless fun short, this is truly worth a watch if you seek something good. So, I grant this machine a gold skull. Sadly, not a perfect score, as while I did have fun, my only complaint is that it didn't go as insane as it was building up towards, and Finchley deserved a more ludicrous demise than falling in the pool. But other than those nitpicks, it's pretty dope. A thing about machines is far from a top-of-the-line model, but it's certainly a glorious gadget full of sheer energy.